Another Canadian Immigration Live Q&A. I want to extend a special welcome to all those who are watching on Periscope, Facebook, and our Canadian Immigration Institute YouTube channel. We'll wait for a few minutes here for people to connect in and join. Today's a really, really busy day for me. And one of the challenges that I'm experiencing is that in just a short period of time here, I will be appearing before the Standing Committee on Immigration to talk about how the pandemic has been affecting immigration systems in Canada. Now that will be interesting. I'm super grateful to have those who are tuning in. It's a little bit of a different time. I had to go with 11 o'clock because I had other commitments that were also taking place. And boy, today has been one unbelievably full day. Now, we can see that we've got a bunch of people here that are tuning in, and I'll see if I can get this sorted out. But it's great to have people listening, and you guys are really the ones that make this all worthwhile. So if it wasn't for you sharing your thoughts and your questions, well, this just wouldn't be as good as it is. Simple as that. Okay, now let's see if I can make this a little bit easier for everybody to see. I'm kind of doing things on the fly today because, like I said, I've been scrambling, preparing for the meetings. I've been doing a bunch of other things. I'm supposed to be attending a conference right now. And so I have a short period of time here where I'm going to dive in and just get right into your questions. And I think that's what all of you guys are looking for, I believe. All right, LK, let's see who we got here. So LK, hello, mate. Good to see you. Okay, so let's take a look. So Ravi's talking about the draw. So let's just jump over there right now and let's take a look at what we've got for this draw. So if you are looking for how to find this, and I'll just slide this over a little bit so my window is covered. Okay, so if you're working through this, then what you're going to do is you're going to go IRCC, rounds of invitations, and like we know, every Wednesday we get these draws. So let's see where it is. So when we open this up and we take a look, right now we can see that the draws, at least with respect to this round of invitation, let me just pull this up. I've got a bunch of windows on my screen here. I got a bunch of things going on and they're all hovering over the top. Okay, so rounds of invitations, the moment you've been waiting for, November the 18th. So look at what happens when they do a big scoop. So 5,000 people drawn. And remember the levels planning. The government is shooting to do about 1.2 million people over the next 3 years. Lofty, lofty goals. And how are you going to do that? By continuing to invite people. Now, what I'm going to talk to the Standing Committee about today is that I feel like they need to do more CEC draws. They need to alternate so that the people in Canada are also getting an opportunity. Because even at 472, which is a really good score, and I wasn't sure if it was going to get down to that level, 5,000 people were invited. 472 is still really, really high for a lot of people. But congratulations to all of you. Anyone who submitted the tiebreaker rule basically means that everyone that was on exactly 472, only those who submitted their profile, and you can see how close it is. October the 27th, 2020 at 6:18 UTC, that individual and everybody submitted before that individual will receive the invitation to apply. Anyone who submitted after October the 27th at 6:18 UTC will not be. So this is something you guys need to understand. And I think going forward, this is a positive sign. There's a big scoop that's pulled out. And this is one of the largest draws that they've ever done. So we'll see how this materializes. Now, I'd like to see another CEC draw. That's what I would like to see. All right, let's jump back here and see what else we have going on. We'll get this all sorted out. Okay, cruising down. Let's see, we've got Anvu's tuning in from Miami. Gurleen, bonjour to you as well. Namaste, Ankit from India. Awesome, guys. And Lewis, you're very welcome. I'm glad that this channel is helping you. Let's see if I can make these a little bit bigger, a little bit easier for you guys to see. It might be a little bit too big. All right. We've got Karen watching from Delhi. Great. We've got Miss A tuning in from the Philippines. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Daniel and Mancy. Hello to you guys on Facebook. Hello, Danielle. And we've got our YouTube here, Hussein. And he says he's a baker and he needs a red seal. Do I need a red seal necessary for apply to Canada? I have 1 year experience in Gulf country. It depends. If you're looking at the Federal Skilled Trade Program, Hussein, and you don't have an LMIA supported job offer, then a red seal is what you need. Okay, Krishna, good to see you from Nepal. That is excellent. Okay, it's always a little bit delicate when I'm trying to reshape these. There we go. Okay, Daniel, God bless you too. Okay, let's see here what we've got. Now I'm just going to pound through the questions as quick as I can. I do need to end this a little bit sooner because I have to do some more prep for my appearance before the standing committee. And if you guys want to see, and you could even tune in, that's the interesting part about this, is you have the ability to tune in and watch it. So if we go to, let's flip back to the website and I'll show you what I've got coming for me here. And I search this and I pull this up here. And right here, the House of Commons of Canada, this is the Standing Committee on Immigration. And if you look here for the meeting for today's, let's see, we can find later. Okay. It's hard to imagine that, yes, I will be appearing here, but I will. You can go here, studies and activities, impact of COVID. There's the webcast. There's the notice of meeting right here. You click on it and you look and you will see here that I will be appearing in the 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. session with my good friend Alistair Clark from Manitoba, and as well another representative that is representing their organization. So we're in the second half. So if you want to check it out and see what happens and how policy and law at the very, very ground level is started in Canada, that is a great place for you to go check it out. All right. Okay, and actually we'll go back here and let's continue on with our questions. Okay, all right, so Tanuja, and let's just shrink Tanuja down here, says, I'm using my current job to prove my work experience. Is it possible to switch jobs after an ITA or AOR? If yes, then how do I notify the CIC about the change in status after an AOR? Absolutely, you can change it. Once you've got your ITA, your work history is locked in. But if you've listed as your current occupation, then I send in an update through the IRCC web form. So that's how I do it, Tanuja. Good question. Lucky, all the best to you. Okay. All right. LK says, what are the chances of cutoff to fall below 450 to 460? I'm not seeing it happening, my friend. Not that low. Not unless they do a Canadian Experience class draw only. The scores, I don't see them going down. It's just too competitive. And there's just too many people that are trying to get in. Okay. Hyder says, can I add a spouse as accompanying from non-accompanying after ITA? Will IRCC accept post-ITA issued ECA? Okay, so Hyder, this is there's a lot of questions that you've got in here. The first one is you can always add a spouse that you listed originally as non-accompanying, but understand they can then reassess your comprehensive ranking system score, reassess your eligibility, and if you're no longer eligible or you fall below that round of invitation level that you got your ITA, then your application can be returned. And when it comes to accepting post-ITA issued ECA, if it's your spouse and you're including that information in, well, it's possible for you to complete the ECA and give it a whirl and then try to include her points. And I know where you're going with this, Hyder. That's basically the direction. And I know there's been no formal response. I know that you've brought this up in the past, and I haven't heard back from immigration on this issue. They haven't responded yet. So there's a possibility. I'll leave it at that. Okay. All right. We'll keep cruising here. Okay. So Rahaf here, I am going to, let's see what I've got here. I've got a bunch of things. And one thing I'm going to do right here is this one. So Rahaf, you need to bring a trainer from your new restaurant from Dubai. Should I apply for a business visitor visa? I think the answer here is this. I'm going to need a whole lot more information as to what you're doing. Normally, these trainers that are coming in, it depends on what they're doing. It depends upon the nature of their training. Depends upon if they're actually working in your restaurant. In many cases, the default is a work permit, and then we go backwards to see if there is some form of exception to that. Okay. All right. Okay. So Haq here says, hey, while in Pakistan, I did my master's while doing a full-time 9-to-5 job. My classes are 6:30 to 9:30, 5 days a week. Should I claim it as full-time study or part-time study? Who cares? What did the school treat it as? Like, whether it's full-time or part-time, the ECA that you get for that education is the thing that's going to drive the ship. If it says that it's equivalent to a master's degree in Canada, then it doesn't matter whether you took it part-time or full-time. So that really doesn't make a big difference. Okay. Okay. This is another one, and it appears like they're re-asking it. So I have a question. What if I submitted my student visa to Canada and it is rejected because my father has a rejected asylum case here in the US? What is your advice? It's not your father, it's you. And were you included in that application? And was your application rejected as well? You have an obligation to disclose that refusal and that you were the subject of an asylum claim. And what impact does it have on a study permit? Well, every officer has the discretion to determine how much weight they're going to give it. And it all comes down to whether or not you can provide or demonstrate an ability to return home to your country following the expiry of whatever application you're submitting, in this case, a study permit. So they can and do take all things into consideration. Okay. This is a good one. Aylin says, hey, do you know what is the average processing time for PR applications? I'm aware that the time is affected by COVID. Yes, it is. My application progress is 100% since July and 4 months overdue. I know. And Aylin, you haven't indicated whether you're inside Canada or outside. I'm assuming that you're probably outside Canada. And until the travel restrictions are lifted, I really believe that things are going to go very slow for people that do not already have their COPRs. So if you're in a situation where you're still waiting for your application to be approved, and yes, everybody's goofy status bar says 100%, that bar will only travel exactly in accordance with the actual time that passes. It has nothing to do with your specific application and the stage in which it's at. All that bar on your profile, all it indicates is that there's been 1 month that's passed, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 months from the date you submit your application, your progress bar will be 100% completed. So it was all designed there to help people, at least immigration, to encourage people not to keep calling the call center, to find out where their application was at least not for the first 6 months. So that was their strategy, but it's not specific to your application. Okay. Otzi is in Nigeria. Good to see you. Raid says, I need my ITA a few weeks ago and did. I received my ITA. Aha! That is awesome. Let's see if I've got here. Yeah, we do. There's celebration. And I know there's a ton more of you guys because of this big, massive draw. If you were drawn in this draw, post it in the comments. I want to find out. Okay, let's see here. And I'm just going to skip. Those of you who are saying hi, I'm giving you a wave so that we can get to the others. All right, let's see here. And when you're posting where you're tuning in from, like I'm in here, I'm also giving you a big thumbs up. And it's awesome. Thank you for posting because I can see it and I love to see where you guys are tuning in from. Okay, let's see what else we have here. We got lots of people commenting where they're from. Oh, Mohammed says he's sleepy from Colombo. I'll give you a little shout out there. I'm actually really sleepy too, and I'll tell you why. Because I went to bed about 4 a.m. 4 a.m. this morning. I had approximately 3.5 hours sleep, and I'm dragging, I'll tell you. But I've got to get my game face on for when I do this appearance before the standing committee. All right, let's see where we've got here. Oh, we got a great group, you guys. We've got Mulan here, Uganda. Ravi, you're very welcome. I appreciate, this is why I love doing it. It's just, I feel like I'm genuinely making a difference in people's lives and that people appreciate it. And what more could you want, right? If I had my way and I didn't have a family to provide for, this would be something I would love to do for fun. Just this. Not that I'm not doing it for fun, but it's a very, very important component to helping you to understand who I am as an immigration lawyer and that I actually have the ability to help you. notwithstanding everything, all the misinformation online, saying you don't need any help, you don't need any direction, you can do it on your own. I'm going to shift over here to the website again, and I want to show you something. So as you know, this is my website, and I have recently created a new video that I want you guys to watch. And this video is entitled, What Makes Houthi Immigration Law So Special? So go check it out, HouthILaw.com. And then also, I want you to go over to the top, go to About Us, and click on Approach. This is where you can learn why we're different. Well, theoretically, it looks like this site is a little bit down. Okay. It looks like for some reason. But anyways, you can go there and we'll figure it out. Igor's on it. It seems like we have always lots of little glitches, but you can still find it and click on this little link here. What is the collaborative review approach? So go check it out because that, for all intents and purposes, is a real good overview of how we're different than pretty much everybody else. Okay, let's see if we've got here for resources. And then the last thing I'll share with you is interesting. Looks like we've got a few problems with our website. Okay, well, I'm glad that the first page works. I guess we'll see. This is where the fun and enjoyment of trying to manage all aspects of your business and do live videos and represent you awesome people and keep the website up and the lights on and the employees happy and all that kind of stuff. But I love it and I wouldn't have it any other way. And hey, I never get stressed about these things. At the end of the day, it'll all work itself out. All right. Okay, here's a good question. Manjot says, is IRCC working at full capacity? Nope. Last I heard, they were 30% less, down 30% officer capacity. And many of the visa offices are not back to full complement. Skeleton crews. So, okay. Okay. He says, have you faced like this case for someone who had tried to come to Canada to study? Understand. When it comes to studying, I have faced every possible configuration you could imagine. And understand, just because someone else has the exact same situation as you, my friend, the reality is it all depends upon the officer you get. It depends upon the country you're coming from, because absolutely, the approval rate for study permits, say from Africa, is atrocious. You compare that to, say, London, England, totally different, night and day different. And it's actually quite disgraceful. The way individuals who are applying from Africa, but there is those same challenges as well in Asia. So it just depends. So I can't even tell you, but yes, every configuration you can imagine. Okay, Sandra, give you a shout out. Hello. Okay, Mancy says I want to ask regarding the French route. Mancy, if you want to know more about the French route, you go over here. And let's see if we can find this. I'm going to actually type in my YouTube channel, see if I actually am still logged in. Everything else is all messed up, so why would I think that the YouTube channel is going to work? So you go, hey, look at theirs, it's live. And it's always curious when the kids are on and they're checking out all these different YouTube channels, then apparently they're looking at them through my YouTube. So I guess the Canadian Immigration Institute here has a lot of channels that they're following. Anyways, so in here, what I want to point you guys to is videos, okay? And here is all of the videos that I've done on all these other topics. I've even done some fun ones. But if you go to playlists right here, you'll also see that I have one that's called Immigration Nation. So if I view full playlist, I love this. So here's the playlist, and you'll see right here, David Chalk, Quebec Immigration and Misrepresentation. David is the one that I'd push you to. He's the man. But you got to check out the other ones. Alicia and Betsy was hilarious. And right now they're kind of scattered. I'm doing them at different times, but it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So you got to check that out. But when it comes to anything Quebec based, David is the man. That's kind of the direction that I go. All right. Okay. And what have I done now? Let's see here. Oh, I must have just moved it. Sorry, this is me bouncing around, just trying to make it through this, answering as many questions as I can without crashing. All right, let's see here. Okay, Lewis says, hey, does asking for essentially the GCMS notes affect the processing time of your application? No, it doesn't. The access to information folks are completely different than the processing folks. All the ATIP folks are doing, who give you the GCMS notes, are just providing a copy of what's on the system that has no impact on the processing of your application. Okay. All right. Praddock says, what is the timeline for changing the process of paper application to online application for spouse sponsorship? Please share if you have any update. There is no online process for spousal sponsorship. So at this stage, what immigration is doing, and they need to modernize the whole system, and this is what I'm going to talk about with the standing committee, is the reality that the paper-based applications have been stacked up. They've been going slow, but they're slowly trying to scan them, which is really, every lawyer who represents their client has got a complete full scanned copy of what they submitted. That's like borderline negligence if you don't keep a copy. And we could easily provide it to immigration, and they don't need to have all these people scanning. But for whatever reason, they haven't taken us up on it yet. Okay. Okay. Hey, James, good to see you from Goa. Okay, this is a good question. Taryn says, hey, can we expect there to be 5,000 ITAs going forward? Guys, we can't expect anything. No one knows for certain what they're going to do. The wizard behind the curtain, he or she will make whatever decisions that the government feels they need to make based on how many people are actually coming to Canada, how many people are using the invitations to apply to become a permanent resident, because the numbers don't equate directly. Just because 5,000 invitations to apply have been issued doesn't mean that all 5,000 people that receive those are going to then choose to actually come to Canada. So keep that in mind. Okay, thanks, LK. I appreciate that positive feedback. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so this one here, Syed, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to ring the bell, because this is a super specific question. So as opposed to where you should apply, all those kinds of things, you really need to come and book a consult and come over here to our website. I'll flip over to the website, go to our consult page, which, yay, that is still up and working. Hooray. And choose a lawyer, book a consult, and we can go through in detail and determine what the best, I guess I left you on there. That wasn't very good. Oh, it's been one of those days. So go back here. But when you go here and you book the consult, we can help navigate you, just answer your questions and help you to navigate your way through which option is best. The strategic planning that we do in those simple little 25-minute consultations is well worth your time and money, because it can save you a ton of wasted effort, and it can help you to really focus on what the real possibilities are. All right. Okay, let's see here. Okay, here's a good question. So Kiroya says, hey, I lived in Germany for 1 year as an international student. Does that count as a change of residence or travel for EE profile? I count that as an address change. If you're working or studying in a different country for a long period of time, I change that and make that an address change. And if it's an address, I don't overlap with travel, so it's not both. If it's a short little trip of a week or two for a holiday or a short little business visitor trip, then yeah, I count that as travel, and that does overlap when you're actually living somewhere else. So as far as time periods go, but yeah, in your situation, I count that as address. All right. Okay. Rahaf, I'm going to ring the bell for you, my friend. How do you bring a singer to perform in a party? There's so many questions that need to be answered before I can get through that one. Okay, here's a good question. Hack says, hey, I'm an Outland FSW applicant. I did full-time job with full-time study. Will that be a problem? No, but you better darn well explain how it worked. And lots of people will go to school in the evenings and then all day on the weekend, and they'll work during the day, or they will work in the evening shift late, work all day Saturday and Sunday, and then back to school, and they're both full-time. So it's entirely doable, but Hack, you have to be really careful how you explain it. Okay, Aziz is given his biometrics already, but there's no response and still waiting for further instructions. How much time will it take for any further update? I wonder if I have anything else that's kind of a funny sound. Let's see. How about this one? Who freaking knows? I have no clue. That is one of the questions. That's the $1 million question, my friend. No clue. Right now, everybody's in limbo. In fact, when my appearance before the Standing Committee, I'm going to address all of the expired COPRs who have been waiting in their countries, like Emeka, who comes on and tunes in from Nigeria, who are waiting for their letters. And then those who I've heard already in India, who's received those letters to travel with an expired COPR, and then the airlines aren't letting them board. It is a complete gong show. Oh, well, there you go. So I can't, I don't know is the answer. I don't know. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. We'll keep zooming through. Oh, look at this. Speak of the best person right here. Please, Mark, remember to make a case for us with expired COPRs. I will, Emeka. I will. Absolutely, I will. I didn't even know you'd posted a comment. I'm going to be there for you, my friend. I promised you. And those of you who have who've been and tuned in before, Emeka, if you want to know more about Emeka, all you have to do is go over here once again to our website. Well, to a website. Go to the CanadianImmigrationInstitute.com. When you're there, see all courses, and then go to the Learn More button. And when you click on the Learn More button, it will take you here and you can scroll down. And as you scroll down, you will stumble upon some awesome folks right here who had given me video testimonials on the course. And guess who is one of those people? All of these are all landed, all permanent residents of Canada. But this amazing guy right here is still stuck. You're the last one of that awesome crop of people that gave video testimonials. And I'm actually going to get a whole new group of them. But Mashi, we're waiting for you, man. We are waiting. You were the last of this graduating class from the Canadian Immigration Institute's do-it-yourself course. And I really, really am going to be there for you, man. I am going to be there for you. All right. And I guess one thing else that I'll show you guys while we're at it here, because that seems like the appropriate thing to do. I'm gonna pull up something. I think this will work. I think it will. Those of you who are watching, go there and type in this coupon code EEDIY50, and you will get 50% off the regular rate for the DIY course. So go check that out. CanadianImmigrationInstitute.com. All right, cruising on some more here. Let's see what else we've got. Big shout out though to you, Emeka. Good, big shout out. Okay. Okay, Ancom's asking a question. I'm not quite sure. Do we get 600 CRS additional points without counting our education points? The 600 points come from a provincial nomination. They're independent. Or in some cases, you can get lesser points for job offers, 50 points, 200, depending upon the skill level you're at. But I'm not quite sure I understand that question, my friend. Okay, yeah, Tamika. Okay, excuse me. I'm going to start playing this one if I can find it. I've got so many different screens here. I'm going to start playing this one. Maybe this one. Nope, not that one. Yep. That's like the crazy question of the day that no one has an answer for. So anytime someone asks about how long is it going to take, my goodness, they're gonna get the DJ horn because no one has a clue. No one. I don't even think immigration has a clue, to tell you the truth, Tamika. Okay. Yep. So Sesh, the same question. Expired COPRs, what are they planning? Well, just apply some resources to it. Help you guys. You're not a massive cohort of people. You're small. And all it takes is them to get those letters issued. Make sure they properly advise the airlines, that they have some form of a contact number for you to reach out to if the airline is refusing to board you. Like, these are not difficult times. You've devoted your life. You've been approved. You've been sanctioned to become a permanent resident of Canada, and they've just left you drifting in the wind. And the goal is you notify them when you're ready to travel. They then send you a letter of travel, an authorization letter. Then you provide that together with your expired COPR to travel to Canada. And the airline should board you, and the border officer should let you in. that's what should happen, but it's just been crazy. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, we've got lots of questions about what are they planning for expired COPRs. Okay, Urdu is an interesting question. It says, I completed my secondary, so that's high school. I left my study 8 years ago. Can I apply for a student visa with my family? Going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult with major gaps in time, but not impossible. There's nothing stopping anyone from applying. You just have to make the case, right? You have to demonstrate that you will return home following the completion of your studies. And when you're older, and with the massive surge of people applying for study permits, many of them, what do they want to do? They want to become permanent residents. And notwithstanding Section 22(2) of the Immigration Act that talks about dual intent, it is trumped by the other section that says you have to provide an intention and prove an intention that you'll go back. And in your situation, it just, that gap does play an impact on whether or not you can get your study permit. And when you bring your family with you, one more indication that maybe you're going to stay. It all is just this balancing act. Okay. All right. So Angelo says, hey, my bank is refusing to provide the proof of funds. Your bank is stupid, and most banks tend to be this way. They don't want to give that perfect proof of funds letter. For you in your situation, yes, 6 months of bank statements is often what I do. Absolutely. Okay. Okay, and if you guys who have big, long questions, I will not always answer those either. Okay, I'm just flipping through here. Hey, we got someone from Alberta. Welcome, DJ. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so here's a good one. Ashish asked this big long question about trying to determine the NOx. And Ashish, I will put you over here and I will flip you to this page right here. And actually I'll go back here and I will close that. This is where you need to go. Book a consult with us, because when it comes to actually assessing your eligibility, we need a whole lot more information, my friend, than we're able to, than I'm able to collect in a short little comment on the YouTube channel here. And looks actually Facebook for you. You're tuning in from Facebook. Okay. All right. So Saad says, is it possible to change status from a visitor to a work permit within Canada? If yes, how? Get a labor market impact assessment. There are mechanisms in place right now to allow people to not have to flagpole that can, but you need to have an employer-specific labor market impact assessment. All right. Flipping through here. And guys, we are just about wrapping up today. So it's not going to be as long as normal. It's going to be a little bit shorter today, just so that I can, like I said, refocus and get back on track. So let's pick out a few more questions and then we're going to wrap it up. I also want to just say that I intended to pull on, people had left questions on the resource page. It looks like the site is just down right now for some reason. So I'm sure Igor is working on it. But if we go to the resources page, which doesn't even seem like it wants to load, it's all messed up. Okay, well, anyways, if you go down to the bottom here, this right here is where you can leave your question. And so it's at the bottom of the resource page, you can leave your question here. I'm just not sure what's happened, but everything is falling apart on the site. That's so awesome. That is so awesome. Okay. All right. And actually I don't even, did I not even shift? I didn't even shift it over. I'm just totally losing it here. So if I go back to the website here, it's, it's all messed up. I can't even show you. Go to the resource section here. Hopefully the site will be back up and running. And at the bottom, you can leave your questions and then I will consider them for the next round. So obviously, I'm just not able to get to everybody in these live Q&As. There's just far more people that have questions than I'm able to answer. And so I apologize for that. But slide over, see if you're able to leave one. And if it's a good general question that would be of interest to many people, then there's a good chance it's going to get answered. All right. Jamelia says, hey, Mark, I'm wondering if the gift deed from my parents can be for the whole amount required for proof of funds, as I have little to no savings. Thank you. Yep. you can use that. Make sure that you document it clearly. Make sure you show the source of the funds. You've got the gift deed. You've got the account where it's coming from your parents into your account. Yes, you can. Okay. All right. So we'll do just 2 more questions here. Okay. So Praddock says, my spouse is a Canadian is a permanent resident and I'm in India. Can I get the open work permit? No. Open work permits are only available if you're in Canada and you're the subject of an in-Canada spousal sponsorship, or your spouse is a foreign worker in Canada or an international student. Then in those circumstances, you can apply for an open spousal work permit, but not when they're a PR and presumably they're sponsoring you through the family class. Okay. All right. And we'll finish off with Joha here. Hello, Mark. It's good to see you again. Mark, do you know, I think, how long does it take to get the AOR after submit the paper application to get PR under the Atlantic Immigration Pilot? Right here. That's how long, Joha. And I'm going to finish with that. Who knows where things are at? I don't think anybody knows these days. This is so crazy. Well, once again, this is where you go for getting your questions answered, your express entry guidance. Click in the coupon code, type it in, EEDIY50 on the Canadian Immigration Institute site, and you can get 50% off of the price. It is totally worth it, guys. I poured my heart and soul into that. And for those of you who are wondering, I just tuned in. Who is this guy? I am a Canadian immigration lawyer, Mark Holthe, and I am loving life. I love what I do. I'm so grateful for all of you guys and everything that you do to make this channel and this feed, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or even Periscope, what it is today. So thank you so much. I'm going to wrap up now, and I will see you guys next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, right back where we started. Now, I also want to identify that on Tuesday afternoon, I'm going to be doing another episode of Immigration Nation, where I bring on another immigration lawyer to talk about all kinds of things. And this one is going to be Betsy. Actually, Betsy I just did. It's going to be BJ Caruso, who's one of the most respected lawyers across the country that practices immigration. She literally writes the Annotated Immigration Act that the Immigration Department uses and their officers use. So she's exceptional. She's going to come and talk about self-isolation and what happens when you come in with all these crazy quarantine obligations. All right, so that's going to be our topic. So watch for that in the afternoon on Tuesday. And then we'll be back here right again Wednesday morning for another live Canadian immigration Q&A. Thanks, guys. Take care, and we will see you again soon.